Space near the Terran border was always quiet. Too quiet. Stars did not move there. Signals did not echo. Even long-range scanners behaved strangely, as if space itself was holding its breath. Captain Elias Rourke stood on the bridge of the patrol ship TDS Watcher. His crew was silent. Every human on board felt it. Something was wrong. The borderline was clear. A straight invisible wall in space. No ship was allowed to cross it without permission. Every empire in the galaxy knew this rule. Tonight, the sensors picked up shadows. Not ships. Not energy. Just shadows where nothing should exist. "Run the scan again," Rourke said calmly. The officer obeyed. The result was the same. No threat detected. That scared them more. Terran sensors did not fail. They never failed. Minutes passed. Then a small border station, Station Echo 7, blinked once on the screen. And went dark. No explosion. No heat wave. No debris. Just gone. The crew waited for alarms. None came. "Open channel to Echo 7, Rourke ordered. Silence answered. Across the border, far beyond human space, the Empire fleet moved forward. They were massive, old, proud. Their commanders believed humans were weak. Traitors. Builders. Talkers. The Empire had crossed borders before. No one ever stopped them. Tonight would be no different. The first Empire ships crossed the Terran line. Nothing happened. No weapons fired. No warnings given. The Empire commanders smiled. Humans were afraid. Then, for exactly 1 second, every Empire ship lost direction. Maps twisted. Stars shifted. And deep inside Terran space, something ancient woke up. The Empire fleet moved deeper into Terran territory. Their ships were bright with banners and glowing armor. Their weapons were charged. Their commanders relaxed in their command chairs. No resistance. "This is easier than expected," one admiral said. Human space looked empty. No war fleets. No defenses. Just quiet stars and distant planets. They sent a message. "Surrender your border systems. Resistance is useless." The message reached Terra. No reply came. On Earth, inside a dark command chamber, Terran officers watched silently. No panic. No shouting. Only data. "Civilian evacuation complete," a voice said. "Defense nets armed," said another. "Phase 0 still holding," the commander replied. Back at the border, the TDS Watcher drifted near the silent line. Captain Rourke watched the Empire ships pass. He did not fire. He recorded everything. "Log all movements," he said. "No engagement." One of the crew hesitated. "Sir, they destroyed Echo 7. Rourke nodded once. "I know." The Empire tested their weapons next. A single shot fired at an empty Terran outpost. The station exploded in light and metal. The Empire cheered. They believed this was victory. What they did not see were the human ships hiding without signals. No heat. No light. No movement. Human ships did not glow. They waited. The Empire fleet pushed forward, confident and loud. Then their long-range sensors began to fail. Distances felt wrong. Messages took longer to send. One Empire navigator spoke with fear. "Admiral, space feels slow." Before the Admiral could answer, a Terran system activated fully. The border was never just a line. It was a lock. Empire ships inside the zone could not leave fast enough. Warp drives struggled. Formations broke. Still, no Terran weapons fired. The Empire laughed again. "Humans still hide," the Admiral said. Then Empire scanners detected something behind them. Hundreds of Terran ships. Silent. Close. Perfectly positioned. Captain Rourke finally spoke to his crew. "Record complete," he said calmly. "Send signal." A single message went out across Terran space. "Contact confirmed." Far away, Terran Command replied with one short order. "Proceed." The silent line closed. And the Empire realized too late. Humans were never afraid. They were patient. The Empire fleet did not retreat. They believed the Terran ships behind them were a bluff. Empire commanders had seen fear before. This did not look like fear. It looked like delay. And delay, to them, meant weakness. The admiral of the Empire fleet stood tall on the command deck of the flagship Glorious Dominion. He raised one clawed hand. "Open all channels," he ordered. The message was sent across human space. "Terrans," the admiral said proudly, "you stand before the rightful rulers of this sector. Power down your ships. Accept our protection. This war ends now." The message echoed. Humans replied. Only one sentence came back. "You are trespassing." The Empire bridge erupted in laughter. "So small. So rude," the admiral said. "End this." Empire ships turned their weapons toward a nearby Terran colony world. It was small. Quiet. Barely defended. Or so it seemed. The first shots hit empty sky. The colony had already been evacuated. Millions of humans were gone, moved silently days ago. The Empire did not know this. They believed they were striking fear into human hearts. Instead, they struck nothing. Terran fleets continued to wait. From hidden positions, human commanders watched Empire movements in perfect detail. Every turn, every shot, every mistake. "Let them advance," a Terran commander said. Human ships did not chase. They did not surround. They guided. Empire scouts pushed deeper into Terran space. Their sensors struggled more with every jump. Navigation errors increased. Communication lag grew worse. Empire engineers blamed faulty equipment. They were wrong. Space itself was changing. Invisible Terran systems bent distance and time just enough to confuse non-human technology. Human ships were built to live inside this distortion. Empire ships were not. One Empire cruiser vanished from formation. No explosion. No wreckage. It simply failed to appear after a jump. The admiral noticed the gap. "Report," he demanded. No answer came. Still, pride pushed him forward. "We continue," he said. The Empire believed numbers would win. More ships entered the Terran zone. More banners. More noise. Humans stayed silent. Then the first real engagement happened. An Empire destroyer fired at a Terran frigate drifting alone. The shot hit. The Terran ship did not break. Its hull absorbed the energy and faded from sight. The Empire crew stared. The Terran frigate reappeared behind the destroyer. One quiet burst followed. The Empire ship folded inward and vanished. No fire. No sound. Fear finally touched the Empire bridge. "That was an accident," the admiral said sharply. "Human trick." But his voice was not steady. Across the fleet, Empire captains reported the same thing. Terran ships appeared where they should not exist. Their weapons ignored shields. Their movements made no sense. Humans did not rush. They chose targets carefully. Every Empire ship lost reduced the fleet's formation. Still, humans allowed Empire reinforcements to arrive. They did not block the message. They wanted more ships inside the line. On Earth, Terran command watched calmly. "Enemy pride remains high," an analyst said. "Good," the commander replied. "Phase 0 complete." Back in space, the Empire finally realized the truth. The Terran border was not a wall. It was a net, and they were falling deeper into it. The admiral slammed his claw on the console. "All ships," he shouted. "Turn back. Full withdrawal." Engines roared. Warp drive screamed. Nothing happened. Space refused to let them go. Empire ships began to collide as formations broke. Orders overlapped. Panic spread. And behind them, the silent Terran fleet moved closer. Captain Rourke watched the Empire flagship on his screen. "They see it now," one officer said. Rourke nodded. "Yes," he replied quietly. "Too late." Human command sent one more message across the fleet. Not to the Empire. To their own ships. Phase 1 authorized. Terran weapons powered up. For the first time, the Empire felt it. Real fear. The moment Phase 1 began, space changed. Not in a loud way. Not with light or fire. It changed quietly. Across the Terran border zone, Empire ships felt it first. Power readings dropped. Sensors lost focus. Target locks failed without reason. Empire captains shouted orders. Restore shields. Realign weapons. Find the enemy. But the enemy was already there. Terran ships moved without engine flare. No heat trails. No sound. They slipped through distorted space like shadows that understood the dark. The Empire fired wildly. Their weapons burned bright, cutting lines through empty space. Nothing hit. Then the first Empire battleship vanished. No warning. One moment it filled the scanner. The next it was gone. Not destroyed. Not drifting. Gone. The crews of nearby ships stared at blank screens. What weapon was that? Someone whispered. No one answered. Captain Elias Rourke watched from the TDS watcher. His face stayed calm. His voice never rose. Target groups collapsing, an officer said. Expected, Rourke replied. Terran weapons did not behave like Empire weapons. They did not blast shields. They did not tear hulls apart. They removed ships from the fight. Some Empire vessels folded into themselves, crushed by invisible pressure. Others froze in space, systems dead, crews alive but helpless. Humans did not speak during combat. They did not celebrate. They did not chase fleeing ships. They simply executed patterns written long ago. Empire admirals tried to regain control. Concentrate fire, the fleet commander shouted. Overwhelm them. Hundreds of Empire ships fired together. The space between them bent. The shots curved away. Human technology did not block attacks. It guided them somewhere else. An Empire cruiser suddenly found itself alone, far from the fleet. Its crew screamed as Terran ships appeared around it. One quiet pulse. The cruiser vanished. Panic spread. This is impossible, an Empire officer cried. They are breaking the laws of space. They were not. They were using rules the Empire never bothered to learn. Long before this war, humans had studied Empire weapons. Their engines. Their shields. Their habits. Humans noticed something the Empire ignored. Empire technology was powerful, but it was rigid. It expected space to behave. Humans never trusted space. Terran engineers built systems that adapted, changed, learned. They planned for invasion before anyone believed invasion would come. On Earth, an old general watched the battle feed. Humans do not win by being stronger, he said softly. We win by being ready. Back in the border zone, the Empire flagship tried to flee again. Warp drive charged to maximum. Space twisted. The ship did not move. Instead, Terran vessels appeared directly ahead. Close. Too close. For the first time, the Empire admiral felt true fear. Open surrender channel, he shouted. The message was sent. This time, humans replied. Only one sentence. Too late. Terran ships fired. The flagship shields failed instantly. Its weapons shut down. Gravity inside the ship reversed without warning. The crew screamed. Then everything went still. The flagship remained, powerless and floating. Humans did not destroy it. They wanted it seen. Across the battlefield, Empire ships tried to escape. Some succeeded by pure luck. Most did not. Human fleets tightened their formation. Phase 1 ended as quietly as it began. Silence returned to the border. Captain Rourke exhaled slowly. Status, he said. Enemy fleet broken, an officer replied. Multiple vessels disabled. Others gone. Rourke nodded. Send report, he said. The report reached Terran command within seconds. The reply came just as fast. Allow transmission. Rourke looked up. They want them to call home, someone said. Yes, Rourke replied. Let them warn their Empire. The damaged Empire ships sent desperate messages. They spoke of shadows, of ships that erased fleets, of humans who did not shout, threaten, or chase. They spoke of defeat. Human command watched calmly. Reinforcements will come, an admiral said. Good, the Terran commander answered. He looked at the stars beyond the border. They will bring more ships. He paused. And we will end this. The Terran fleet shifted position. Phase 2 was waiting. And the Empire had just declared its own extinction. Empire reinforcements arrived faster than expected. Dozens of new fleets dropped out of warp at the edge of Terran space. Fresh ships. Fresh crews. Full of anger and confidence. They saw the wreckage. They saw disabled ships drifting in silence. They saw the Empire flagship, powerless and broken. Rage replaced fear. The new Empire Admiral did not hesitate. All fleets, he ordered. Advance. Destroy everything. The Empire surged forward. That was exactly what the Terrans wanted. As the reinforcements crossed the border, Terran systems reached full activation. The border was never just defense. It was a design. Deep inside the fabric of space, ancient Terran machines aligned. They were built quietly, over centuries, hidden inside moons, asteroids, and empty space. They did not fire weapons. They changed reality. The moment the last Empire fleet crossed the line, space folded. Distances stretched. Time slowed unevenly. Empire ships found themselves drifting off course, unable to stay in formation. Commands reached ships too late. Orders overlapped and contradicted each other. Empire pilots fought their controls. Nothing worked the way it should. Navigation is broken, one captain shouted. No, an engineer replied in fear. Space is broken. Terran ships moved freely. They were built for this battlefield. They slid through distorted space with perfect control, appearing above, below, and inside Empire formations. The Empire tried to adapt. They focused fire on the border devices they could detect. But every device destroyed activated 3 more. The trap was layered. There was no center to attack. Panic spread. Ships collided as distance lost meaning. Heavy cruisers slammed into carriers. Fighters vanished into stretched space, never reaching their targets. Terran commanders gave short, calm orders. Isolate the rear fleets. Collapse left vector. Begin containment. Terran ships did not rush forward. They closed the net slowly. Captain Elias Rourke watched the chaos from a safe distance. This was built long before today, one officer said. Yes, Rourke replied. Before they even knew our name. The Empire Admiral realized the truth too late. This border is a weapon, he said. A Terran transmission cut through the noise. This border is a warning. Empire ships attempted mass retreat. Warp drives overloaded. Some ships tore themselves apart trying to escape distorted space. Others froze mid-jump, trapped between locations. The Terrans did not chase. They waited. Then came the order. End Phase 2. Every Terran ship powered a single system. The battlefield changed again. Gravity reversed across targeted zones. Empire ships were pulled inward, crushed together by forces they could not measure or resist. Entire fleets collapsed into bright, silent points. Total annihilation. Within minutes, Empire presence inside Terran space ceased to exist. No fleets remained. Only debris and silence. Terran systems powered down gradually. Space relaxed. Stars returned to their normal positions. Captain Rourke finally allowed himself to sit. Enemy count? He asked. 0 combat effective vessels, came the reply. Across the galaxy, Empire space went quiet. No fleets returned. No victory messages came. Only fear. On Earth, Terran Command observed the final data. Begin message broadcast, the commander said. A single message was sent to every known civilization. Terran borders remain closed. The Empire received its own message moments later. We will not cross into your space. We will not hunt your people. But your fleets will never threaten ours again. The Empire Council listened in silence. Their greatest weapon. Their greatest pride. Gone. Back at the border, Terran ships held position. They did not advance. They did not celebrate. They waited. Because humans knew one thing better than anyone else in the galaxy. Pride always tries one last time. And Phase 3 was ready. The galaxy watched in silence. Where the Empire fleets once ruled space, there was nothing. No signals. No movement. Just empty stars and drifting metal. The Empire High Council refused to believe the reports. They demanded proof. What they received instead was fear. Surviving Empire ships, damaged and broken, limped back across their borders. Their crews spoke with shaking voices. They told stories of space that crushed fleets and humans who never shouted victory. They spoke of total loss. Still, the Empire chose pride. They gathered what remained of their military power. Defense fleets moved to protect core worlds. Planetary shields rose. Ancient weapons, never used before, were powered on. The Empire prepared for retaliation. On Earth, Terran Command saw everything. "They are fortifying," an analyst said. "Yes," the commander replied calmly. "As expected." The order was given. Phase 3. Terran fleets moved, not forward, but outward. Hidden Terran platforms activated across multiple systems. They did not attack planets. They did not fire on civilians. They targeted infrastructure. Empire shipyards went dark. Fleet supply routes vanished. Communication hubs collapsed into silence. One by one, the Empire's ability to wage war disappeared. No warning was given. No threat was spoken. Empire commanders watched helplessly as their war machine died without a single battle. Planets waited for invasion. None came. Terran weapons were precise, cold, final. Entire fleets vanished while docked. Crews never had time to launch. Command centers lost gravity, power, and air within seconds. Total annihilation of military power. Not genocide. Not conquest. A message finally arrived at the Empire capital. Simple. Clear. "We warned you." The Empire Council sat in silence. Their pride had cost them everything. Across the galaxy, other species watched closely. Some celebrated. Others feared. They all learned. Humans did not seek war. But when war came to them, they ended it completely. At the Terran border, Captain Elias Rourke received the final report. "Enemy military capability reduced to near zero," an officer said. Rourke nodded. "Hold position," he ordered. No pursuit. Human ships remained at the line. They did not cross into Empire space. They never planned to. On Earth, the commander addressed the council. "Terran borders are secure," he said. "Threat eliminated." A junior officer asked quietly, "What about the Empire?" The commander paused. "They will survive," he said. "Just not as a threat." Far away, Empire worlds dimmed their lights. Trade stopped. Fleets were gone. The age of Empire ended without a final battle. History would not remember a great war. It would remember a mistake. Crossing the Terran border. The galaxy adjusted. New alliances formed. Old powers faded. And Terran space remained silent. Guarded. Waiting. Because humans understood something the galaxy was only beginning to learn. Peace is protected, not promised. And borders exist for a reason. The war was over. But the silence felt heavier than battle. Across Empire space, worlds waited. Cities stayed dark. Ships remained in docks that no longer mattered. The people of the Empire felt something new. Fear without an enemy. Their fleets were gone. Their borders were open. And yet, no Terran ships came. Days passed. Then weeks. Still no invasion. On Earth, Terran Command met in quiet chambers. The screen showed Empire space, unprotected and exposed. "We can end them," one officer said. "Yes," the commander replied. But that was never the goal. A transmission request arrived from the Empire. It was the first since Phase 3. The Terrans allowed it. The Empire Council appeared on screen. Their faces showed age, shame, and exhaustion. "You have destroyed our fleets," the lead counselor said. "Our defenses are gone." He paused. "Why do you not finish this?" The Terran commander answered calmly. "Because this war was never about conquest. You crossed our border," he continued. "You destroyed our stations. You ignored our warnings. We responded." The Empire Council lowered their heads. "We ask for mercy," the counselor said. The word echoed. Across Terran space, commanders listened. Soldiers waited. Mercy was not weakness. Humans knew this better than anyone. But mercy had rules. The Terran commander leaned forward. You had a choice, he said. You still do. Terms were sent. Clear. Direct. The Empire would disarm permanently. Their war technology would be dismantled under Terran supervision. Their borders would be monitored. No fleets. No expansion. In return, Terrans would not enter Empire worlds. The Empire Council whispered among themselves. Some wanted peace. Others wanted revenge. Pride had not fully died. We cannot accept these terms, one council member said. We will rebuild. The Terran commander's face did not change. That, he said, is your final mistake. The transmission ended. Terran command did not raise voices. They did not rush. They activated the last measure. Across Empire space, dormant Terran systems woke up. They had been placed long ago, hidden as trade beacons, navigation aids, and communication relays. They were never what they seemed. In one moment, every remaining Empire military system shut down. Weapons locked. Factories failed. Research centers went dark. Not destroyed. Disabled forever. The Empire screamed into the void. Their last strength vanished without a single shot fired. Captain Elias Rourke received the final update. Empire war capability, 0, an officer reported. Rourke closed his eyes for a moment. It didn't have to be this way, he said quietly. Across the galaxy the message spread. Humans offered peace. Once. The Empire had refused. Now there was nothing left to refuse with. On Earth, the Terran commander addressed the public. We did not seek this war, he said. We do not celebrate it. But we will never allow it again. Human fleets remained at their borders. Always watching. Always ready. The Empire entered a new age. Not ruled by fear. But by memory. They would remember the quiet war. The silent ships. The mercy that was offered. And the cost of refusing it. The galaxy learned something important that day. Humans are not the strongest. They are not the loudest. But when pushed, they are final. And when they offer mercy, it should be taken. The war did not end with fire. It ended with understanding. Across the galaxy, diplomats, traders, and observers replayed the same recordings. Empire fleets erased. Borders held. Humans standing still while entire powers collapsed. No cheering. No conquest. Just control. Other civilizations asked the same question. Why did the humans stop? The answer became clear over time. Humans never wanted territory. They wanted safety. The Empire changed. Without fleets, their worlds turned inward. Resources once used for war were redirected to survival. Old leaders resigned. New voices rose. Children of the Empire learned a different history. Not one of endless expansion, but one of a single mistake. Crossing the Terran border. Terran space remained unchanged. No massive armadas. No expansion. Only quiet systems and guarded lines. Captain Elias Rourke returned to patrol duty. The TDS Watcher once again drifted near the silent line. Stars moved normally now. Space breathed again. A junior officer broke the quiet. Sir, do you think they will try again? Rourke looked at the border. No, he said. They remember. Records across the galaxy confirmed it. Pirate fleets altered course near Terran space. Warlords avoided human trade routes. Even ancient species, older than the Empire, adjusted their maps. A new rule spread without being written. Do not test humans. On Earth, Terran Command quietly deactivated wartime systems. The border trap remained, but asleep, waiting. The commander who led the defense stood before the council one final time. Our strength is not our weapons, he said. It is our restraint. We showed the galaxy what happens when our borders are crossed. And what happens when they are respected. Trade resumed. Alliances grew. Terran diplomats spoke softly, but were always heard. Far away, on an Empire world, An old counselor stood before students. He showed them a star map. Here, he pointed, was where the Empire fleets vanished. Why did they destroy us? A student asked. The counselor shook his head. They did not destroy us, he said. They stopped us. The student looked confused. The counselor continued. They could have erased our worlds. They chose not to. That choice saved us. The lesson spread. Power without control leads to ruin. Silence can be stronger than noise. And borders are promises backed by will. Back at the silent line, a small Terran beacon pulsed softly. It carried one message. The same message sent long ago. You are trespassing. But now, no one laughed. No fleets crossed. No weapons fired. The galaxy moved on. Older. Wiser. And forever changed. Because once, an empire tested humanity. And humanity answered. Not with rage. Not with conquest. But with finality.